What's up, guys? This is Les. So for this trick of the week, I am actually going to be going into one of my band's songs. This was our first song that we released actually back in, I think, August 2019. What I'm going to be doing today is basically going through how I process from a top-down mix perspective, and I'm going to be going into my instrumental bus. So basically, what I do with my instrumental bus is just all of my instruments, right? I mean, we got guitars, we got bass, we got drums, we got orchestra, we got lead guitars, you know, we got a lot of instruments in the song. So what I like to do is I like to group all those instruments together before they're actually hitting the master. And this allows me to do some cool tricks, which I'm going to go through right now. Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to play the song, just the instrumentals, just so you can sort of hear what the final mix sounded like, what that vibe sounds like. Yeah, so as we can hear, you know, there's a lot of instruments going on there. All right, so again, what I have is I have, you know, my drums, my guitars, pretty much anything that's not a vocal is being transferred right here to this bus called instrumental bus. And so what I'm gonna be mainly going through today is basically this compression trick I like to do just on all of my instruments. It helps really glue them together and get a really sort of glued and just nicely meshed sound. So again, I'm actually going to take this off right now, and I'm just going to go and kind of show you how I set this up. Normally, just to throw this out there, the actual tracks wouldn't be mixed. They would be, you know, probably in their early mix stages, so that's a slightly different, but this effect is still gonna, you know, work, and everything's gain stage the same as it would be, so no issues there. So I'm gonna go into my dynamics. All right, where is this bitch? God, I'm fucking blind. VBC FG Gray. This is one of my favorite plugins by Slate Digital. It's just really good as a bus compressor. All right, so right away, I know exactly sort of what my settings are going to be every single time. This is sort of just like a one setting fits all sort of trick, at least for this sort of mix. So what I usually do is I'm going to give it a little bit of breath on the attack, go all the way fast with that release because we want this to be really punchy, still allow those transients to hit really hard. Put it on about a 4 release. Turn up the high pass. So basically this high pass filter right here, it makes sure that none of the kick drum audio is going to hit or the low sub bass is going to hit that compressor too quick, because then you could get some sort of muddied sound. So again, yeah, so I'm just going to turn that up a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to just start playing the song. So this is what the song sounds like without this plugin on. And you can notice right away from the beginning that it loses a lot of its glue and a lot of its life. Yeah, so specifically what I'm hearing too is that snare track is really kind of on its own field. Like, it doesn't sound like, you know, it's really meshing well with the other instruments. So again, so when I turn this on, notice the difference with the snare track specifically too, and the other instruments around it. Just gonna make up gain that a little bit, make sure that I'm not adding too much gain in there. right away notice when I turn that bypass off, it almost feels like the life, the energy is sort of just taken out of it. So yeah, basically what's just really happening is the compressor is being mainly controlled by that snare and the kick. If you see the little needles on the screen right here, when I play it again, you're gonna see that basically anytime the kick or the snare hits is when the compressor is gonna be triggered, and that sort of allows the guitars and the leads and the orchestra, basically all the other instruments, to sort of sit like a blanket over the drums instead of having the drums sort of just hit over the guitar and everything like that. So you can see, especially when that snare hits, it hits at about around 2 dB. That's about as much as I like to go. Sometimes I go to maybe up to 3 or 4 if like I really want like a nice punchy sort of metal mix. For this song, I felt that it was pretty good, you know, around that 2 to 3 range, and so I'll just, you know, mess with the threshold until you sort of get it sitting in that perfect. This is kind of what it sounds like when it's like super cranked, right? You can hear the drums just sort of vanish. So again, one more time, I'm just gonna run it through again with it bypassed. You'll see that when that's orange, and then with the plugin back on, and just listen to the sort of the differences that it does to the overall mix of the instruments. Alright, and then my last step is I'm just going to throw in some vocals, just make sure that the instruments aren't too loud, and get that blend nice, and then maybe just, you know, maybe change the mix knob a little bit. This is, if you want to lessen the effect a little, sometimes I go down to like, you know, 90-95%. So it's really not even doing that much of a difference, just giving it a little bit more transparency, if anything. So let's unmute those vocals, go to a different part of the song. Hear it a lot with the vocals there. When this is off, it just seems like the song is just lifeless. Like there's no bounce, there's no energy, there's no nice, you know, punch attack to it. So really the mix, honestly, you know, not to say that, you know, the mix around it isn't good, but it's just not the same without this plugin. And that's why this is something that, you know, I always use in my mixes, because really it's how I get the energy to be in the mix that that I want, you know, and just ultimately, if I can get that in right away into the mix process, I don't have to worry about how to get it from other sources. Yeah, so that's my trick of the week, and again, I'm just gonna play through another section so you can hear that one more time.
Save
Thanks for checking out the video, guys. This was your boy LFC_the3rd coming at you with another trick of the week. We'll be doing this every week for you. Thanks again for checking out my song Lost by Transgressions. You can check it out on all streaming platforms. See you again, guys. Peace.